One, two, three. Want to welcome everybody to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad, and we have Hantie. What's up, everybody? All right, they're cold up in Michigan right now. Hopefully, it'll warm up at some point.
Yep. It's 4 degrees.
Anyway, we have a very interesting conversation that I think is very interesting. They'll come to find out the Sports Illustrated is about ready to lay off half its staff.
Oh no.
But the magazine industry in a whole is dying at an incredible rate. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Some is because, the fact is that people are getting their information from different sources. And it's more interactive, so to speak. Like, people get their information from Mom and Dad Talks. That's why they watch Mom and Dad Talks. And you guys have a large following, because people want to hear your perspective on it. And there's a lot of reasons, but I want to hear you guys. Why do you think the because when's the last time you bought a magazine? It's been a minute, right?
It's been over a year for me.
Hantie?
It's been a while, but I was kind of ahead trying to figure out why.
so with that in mind, but Mom, what you gonna say, Mom?
I'm going to say the internet. It has a lot to do with that. Now you can just plug in a subject and anything, your subject will come up and it's right there. So why do
your devices?
Why do you have to go out to the magazine where they sell magazines to buy a magazine when you can sit right here and plug it in
and get it for free?
Right. So that's one of the reasons why I think the system has let it die.
Mm-hmm. Were you gonna say, Hantie?
Well, I agree with that, because that is a big object that is keeping us from going out. I mean, we all remember Majerics. I think that was when I bought the last Jet magazine. And they burned down several years ago.
And never reopened.
Huh?
They never reopened.
Right.
Not to where they were. Well, they were up and running.
Let's bring up the point. You bring up a great point, Hantie. At one point, you guys, I remember subscribed to Ebony and Jet. I remember looking
right
in the middle of them Jet magazines of the Beauty of the Week.
I remember buying TV guides.
Yeah.
Yeah, when all you have to do is get on your remote and hit guide, and
there you have it.
You have it, and it's free. You don't even have to get out of your chair.
Well, it's really not free, because you pay a whole lot of money for it to come through your TV.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where that's where things have shifted to where we don't have to spend. I don't even know what I think they're real expensive now, are they not?
Everything's expensive.
Everything. So
modern technology has done away with a lot of the things that we grew up
with. That's correct.
Yeah. So when they're replaced with something up and running and popular, it's bound to
right.
What used to be is bound to take a crash.
Well, then you get the whole thing of libraries. You saw less people of libraries because folk didn't want to learn. Now you're getting less because people can just type away and get their information on the internet or whatever. But what's also kind of scary is that people find whatever they're looking for, or whatever the SEOs put up there in front of them that they want to find, or guide them. So now the internet's kind of guiding to people the information that they're getting from, and some of it is incorrect. That's why they're trying to verify stuff, but they didn't care, whoever, whatever you want to do to get the traffic going. So, what's really kind of scary right now is responsible journalism is not even being out there anymore, because the newspaper industry is dying. The magazine industry is obviously dying. So what, the journalistic stuff that you usually get, is coming from independence, and you got to kind of verify, research, and do it on your own, or if you take it for face value because you like the guy and it's false. And we saw what happened with Fox News. They had to pay a whole lot of money for how do I say, guiding people into an incorrect falsified piece, where you see people still think in Iowa the election was still rigged. They just pay $6 billion. It's really kind of sad where people believe whatever they just feel, not what they can critically see and know, and that's a very scary thought, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on the magazine industry and some of the thoughts you have more about that?
With the modern technology coming in now, it may not rebound. The magazine industry may not, because it's being replaced with something more simpler that people are just have to turn on a switch,
right,
and faster.
right.
Who has time to sit down and read a magazine if you're not in the bathroom? But my mind goes back to, I remember the day, when I first got married to Frank, I had to have a newspaper, a South Bend Tribune. I had to have it. And as you say, the modern technology came in. I don't even get the newspaper. I haven't gotten the newspaper for years because, number one, it got thinner and it was more like a pamphlet when it came, and you paid a whole lot of money for it. And you hate to see your money go down the drain. And I thought, well, if it's important, either somebody will tell me or it'll be on the news. So why spend? I can't even remember what it was, 40 or 50 some dollars for 6 weeks, and then the Sunday paper, I thought I couldn't do without that. But the days of buying and selling, looking in the want ads and all of that. I mean, I guess the only reason why I would buy a newspaper today or Sunday paper is to look for a dog.
Every Sunday I do buy the South Bend Tribune,
or the obituaries to see who passed away that I may know.
They only put those in once a week, huh?
Well, you have to give them a week to find out who died.
Well, people holding bodies longer, so
I mean,
just wait for the Sunday paper.
But you can see the shift in culture,
right?
Which how would you spread the good news of Christ? You got to use these platforms. And one of the things, that's why we do Mom and Dad Talks, is we are Christians. We do share the love of Christ from a Christian perspective, or try to give a Christian perspective, or our Christian perspective to other people, which most people, generally like to understand. Well, they may not agree with us, but what is your perspective on it? And I think that's the part that is being lost here is the fact that now we have to spread the gospel a little differently. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get on board with that. We got to be more engaging in that, because people are getting their information differently. We have to present it differently to reach the people, and we can reach more people, because these little phones, I mean, like you said, you used to go to the bathroom and read a magazine. That was the kind of the thing. But now you take your phone and see what's going on. People texting you. You got all your communication in one little device. And anything you feel or you want to know more about, you can just click on that device and do it. And just remember the days of Star Trek when they would say, computer, what do you think about this? And the computer would rattle off the information. Now we're at that stage where you can say Siri or Alexa. Hopefully it doesn't respond.
And sometimes Alexa will respond when you don't even ask her a question.
Yeah. It's always listening mode.
Yeah.
So you have these things now. So it's very important, I think, more all now, is that your information we have to put it out there for people to understand it, because now people are finding their information from all kinds of things. And I saw such and such on there. I mean, and, you know, I remember having a nice discussion, what was called a nice friendly argument at work over a theory, and everything I read, like 90% of the stuff said you couldn't do it. This guy took his time to spend 2 days to find one article to agree with him that you could. One out of all the other stuff. Todd, it can be done. So I was like, you know what? Go ahead and try it. And then he came back to me and said, Todd, I couldn't do it. I give up. Well, I told you that with all the other sources I had. So now what really is the sad part about it is, how do people get their information and how do they know that it's right? Which is kind of scary. You know, what are you doing to verify that your information is correct? And are you studying to understand? Or are you just trying to just gain knowledge to think you're smart? And those are two different things. So, you know, we'll have a discussion on that another time. But any closing thoughts here on the whole Rest in Peace magazines before we close out?
Rest in Peace Net magazine.
Yeah.
Well, once it's gone, it's going to be hard to bring it back.
Oh yeah.
That's all I have to say. Once you get something more updated and easier to get a hold of, what you used to have and get, it's obsolete. So I just say we've got to just move forward with the time.
Yeah, newspapers and magazines have gone the
past.
same way. They're in the past, just like S&H green stamps.
What are you gonna say, Hantie? Yes, Hantie.
Can we take 30 seconds and name a magazine that they still do?
Go ahead.
Can you think of one? I can think of one.
This still has Sports Illustrated almost out. People.
It's almost out. Is that what you read?
Yeah, that's what I read. I mean, I haven't seen Sports Illustrated, but that's what I read. You know,
okay. I think they probably still produce the brides magazines, because they're still going to be brides.
People still want to have paper in their hands instead of watch on screens, you think, Hantie?
Well, and that's probably cut down. I mean, you know, the wedding dresses, they still want to see them and hold on to them. Whereas if they walk down a walkway, you know, they're gone.
Dad, you have any ideas of the magazine still going on?
I don't have any idea of a magazine that's going on.
And see, with
don't they do Popular Mechanics? Don't they?
I don't think they do Popular Mechanics anymore.
Wasn't there a magazine called the Look magazine?
Well, this has gone real bad real quick. So anyway, folks, before we close out here, because you guys grew up in the magazine era, and you guys ain't looking at magazines. Hey, what's up, Carlin? How you doing, man?
Okay.
Well, we're almost done here, Saints.
Oh, look at Chima!
So anyway, we're going to get out of here, folks, real quick. So, look, go out there, read, get your kids hooked on phonics or whatever, because they can't read, it's part of the problem.
I'm just getting off. I'm just getting off.
Yeah, we're going to get, love you, Hantie. Tell Colin we love you.
No,
So next time, we will see you on Mom and Dad.
Bye-bye.